Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right? You're eating well, you're exercising, getting hormone testing, and maybe even you're taking hormones, but your weight still won't budge. Your sleep is off, you're exhausted, and you don't feel like yourself. And then your labs come back normal. How is that happening? If that's you, it's not just in your head. There's something missing, a missing piece that most testing never looks at. That's what we're going to talk about today, because most of us are told the problem is a hormone imbalance. And they're right, except there's a missing piece because two women can have the exact same hormone imbalance on paper, but need completely different solutions to fix it. So if you've been trying diets and workouts and supplements or even HRT and nothing seems to be working, it's not that nothing works. It's that the root cause hasn't been identified. And there are two critical layers that we have to understand. One, what your body is doing with your hormones. Two, why your body is doing it that way. This is where deeper testing comes in. The Dutch Complete Hormone Test shows how your body is processing hormones, and genetic testing shows how your body has been wired to do that. I'm going to explain this. Let's start with hormones. We use the Dutch Complete Test. Most testing looks at how much hormone is in your blood. And that is important information, but there are some critical pieces of information that are missing from that we need to understand that show us your uniqueness. Because your hormones don't actually work in your blood. They actually work at a cellular level, and here's where the differences lie. Because your body is constantly converting hormones from one form to another. An example is DHEA converts into testosterone and estrogen, and then estrogen can also be in different forms. So the body is constantly breaking down hormones, and then after they're broken down, the old hormones need to be cleared out of your body through your liver, through your gut, and through your kidneys, all right? So this is the critical part. There's a process that isn't working efficiently, and those hormones can build up inside your body or be recycled in your body. And with estrogen, this is called estrogen dominance. And that's when symptoms start. Okay, let me give you a couple of examples. With estrogen, your body has different pathways to break it down, and it breaks down into different parts called metabolites. So certain pathways are easier and more safely eliminated, but others can create harmful metabolites that can be carcinogenic and or inflammatory, causing pain and inflammation in your body and your joints. That's right, your estrogen can cause that. So the Dutch Complete Test measures this and looks at the different pathways, and they can be modified through diet and lifestyle changes. But if you don't know, how would you do that? So it's not just about how much estrogen you have, it's about how your body is processing it and whether it's being cleared out of your body safely. The Dutch test also maps your cortisol rhythm throughout the whole day. So we can see if you're wired at night, exhausted in the morning, or running on stress hormones all day. All right, now let's talk about why this is happening. Your genes influence how your body functions every day, including how you detox hormones and other things in your body, how you handle inflammation, how your body responds to stress, and even how you respond to exercise and to different foods. One key process is called methylation. You don't need to remember that word, but just think of it as your body's ability to process and clear things efficiently out through your liver and other organs, including hormones. So if that process is not functioning, hormones don't get cleared properly, they can build up or be recirculated, and they cause symptoms like weight gain, fatigue, and brain fog. Your gut also plays a major role in the hormone balance because your gut bacteria can be out of balance, and then your body can actually reactivate estrogen instead of eliminating it and not clearing it out. So it just recirculates and it gets recycled. I'm going to give you a couple of real-world examples of two women have the same diagnosis, but both were having significant symptoms, but they weren't able to lose weight for different reasons. All right, both show estrogen dominance on blood tests. So at first glance, they look the same. But when we look deeper using both hormone testing and genetic testing, we see two completely different root causes. All right, I'm going to call these two patients Carol and Sarah. All right, we'll start with Carol. Carol had estrogen dominance, but her main issue was impaired detoxification. Her body was having a harder time clearing toxins and hormones efficiently. So what was driving her weight gain? It was a toxin buildup, inflammation, slower detox pathways. So for her, the focus was reducing the toxin exposure, supporting her liver detox through specific nutrition and supplementation, increasing her antioxidant support, and using exercise to support. On the other hand, Sarah also had estrogen dominance, but her issue was completely different. All right, her testing showed slower hormone processing, that methylation we talked about earlier, less favorable estrogen breakdown pathways. She had gut dysbiosis, or an imbalance of the probiotics in her gut. So her body was actually recycling the same estrogen over and over instead of clearing it out of her body. For her, we had to follow a completely different protocol, which included supporting healthier processing pathways, improving estrogen clearance out of her body, healing her gut issues, and stabilizing blood sugar. So two women, same symptoms, same hormone imbalance, but completely different causes genetically. And we had to have different solutions. So if we hadn't done the Dutch Complete Test or the genetic test, we never would have fully understood this. And that's why the most important thing I want you to understand, your symptoms don't tell us the cause, the root cause, and your biology. So your results are determined by following a plan that is specific for your body. And that's exactly what we do inside our 12-week program. We combine the Dutch hormone testing with genetic testing, personalized nutrition and diet, targeted supplementation specifically for your body, and weekly coaching to help you be accountable and tweak anything that needs to be changed and deal with stress. So many things that we do in our coaching program. So instead of trying random approaches, wouldn't it make sense to get a plan designed specifically for your body? If you're just starting, take the hormone quiz in the description. We'll show you your top imbalances and where to begin. But if you've been trying for a while, like many women, and nothing seems to be working, this is where you need to test and go deeper. So if you're ready for this, link to schedule is in the description, because your body isn't broken. It just hasn't been fully understood yet. Have a fantastic day. Namaste.